Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Garrett and this is Alicia, and we're here to show you how to make money online without having any sales or marketing experience. Now this may or may not be your first time hearing about affiliate marketing, and if you've tried something like this in the past, I'm just going to start off by saying it's not your fault if you failed, because there's so much information out there, there's so many of these online opportunities, it's hard to decipher which ones are bad and which ones are good. So more often than not, all this information just makes you feel overwhelmed and like you're in over your head. It's just discouraging.
If you've been concerned in the past that you don't have the skills to make money online, then I want you to know that you do. All you need are the right tools and the right coaching to help you get there. A lot of these other online opportunities require you to have a bit of a tech background or some online experience, and nowadays that's not a necessity.
If you think that these bigger online marketing companies don't have your best interest in mind, that's probably because you're right. Usually you'll just get started and then you'll find yourself there fending for yourself and you're hung out to dry. The difference with us is that we're genuinely concerned in your success, and the support is shared amongst the whole community.
So that's what we're here for. If you're watching this, it probably means that you're looking for a change, whether that change is to travel the world, to spend more time with your family, or just to make some extra income. We want to show you exactly how you can do that.
So our goal here is to help just the average everyday person just like ourselves, make money online and make way more money than you ever made in your day job without smashing your head against the wall trying to figure out all the tech stuff in the background.
So the best way for a beginner to make a substantial income online is through affiliate marketing. And the best way to learn about affiliate marketing is through the tools, the strategies, and the step-by-step training that we provide in our community.
So I got involved online about 2 years ago, and a lot's changed in the last 2 years. I've learned a lot. I've taken a lot of the mentorship and applied it. A lot of training and things I've done. I've spent lots of money on courses as well, and it all paid off. I started making significantly more than I made in the oil field, and making consecutive 5-figure months, and even having a $57,000 month recently. So it's all pretty surreal, but I'm just looking forward to continue to grow this business and help some people along the way.
Since I've started online, I've been able to leave my full-time job, which I was working 48 hours a week away from home at a gas plant at the time. So I've been able to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Even though I had been making good money, I still was stressed about money constantly and living paycheck to paycheck. I've had my first 5-figure month in my entire life. I could have never dreamed to even make that kind of money, and I still continue consistently to make more than I ever did in a corporate position as an administrative assistant in the oil field. Now, it was Garrett who first seen the opportunity and kind of jumped on it, and he approached me and told me what he was doing, and I was definitely really skeptical. Still supportive, but definitely really skeptical. I really didn't understand or have any education around online anything. It was just completely new to me. So I sat back and kind of, just watched him, and, I watched him grow. I seen him start reading books and doing things like that and being involved with this community and doing things like trainings on certain nights and things like that. So my curiosity was definitely sparked. Still skeptical, I still sat back, and it was when he told me in November that he was going to leave his job in the oil field, which he was only home 8 days a month. At this part, we spent every second weekend together, and we crammed in everything that we could into those weekends, and it was pretty exhausting. And then we went to the whole texting relationship after that. So when he told me he was quitting his job, it was an obvious decision for me that I could do it too. I had actually tried a previous thing called Isogenics online, and it really, for how quickly he's seen results, I really wasn't getting anywhere with that. So I put my full focus into what we're doing now, and it really was the best decision. 5 months after that, I left my job, and here we are today, like you said, living in BC, which is something we had both always dreamed of.
Yeah, so let's just rewind some things here. I basically started in the oil field right out of high school. It was kind of all I knew. I grew up in Alberta, Canada, and that was just what you did. That was the norm. You looked for an oil field job, you got an oil field job, and you kind of worked your way up. I did what's called instrumentation. So I went to school, did that 4-year apprenticeship. It took me about 5 years to complete it. And at that point, I got out of schooling, and life was good. I was making good money. I was making, significantly more than the average income, especially for a 24-year-old. And, I had the toys, and I was doing the traveling, and things were good, or so I thought. But, after staying up in camp and spending, 75% of my life away from home, working outside in the cold up in northern Alberta, and just, missing out on the joys of life, I started to realize that, maybe it wasn't so great. The money was good, but it wasn't really worth it when I was never home, and I didn't have the time to even spend it. I was always away from militia, and it just really started to wear on a guy. And I seen a lot of these older fellows that were doing this, and they'd been doing it for years on end, and they were 50-some years old, and they were still working up north, and never at home, and gone through multiple divorces, and basically a lot of things that I really didn't want to go down that path, and I that really kind of scared me into looking into doing something else, which is what turned me on to, maybe trying to make some money online, because it was one thing I could actually do while traveling, which we love to do, and I could do it from home or wherever we were at the time. So that's where I started looking into it. I got plugged into the online world, and, I was doing okay. I was making a bit of money, $1,000 here, $1,000 there. It was about 6 months in, and I had only made like around $6,000, which was, I wasn't complaining about it, but it wasn't going to get me out of the oil field, right? I had bills to pay and things like that, and I had the lifestyle that I'd gotten used to, and mortgages, and so, that wasn't going to cut it. So it was about, like I said, 6 months in, I was kind of just hanging out in my camp room as per usual. The winter season was starting to come, and the temperatures were dropping, and I was just sitting there kind of depressed, and I was just, contemplating life and thinking about, the choices I had made, and I just knew there had to be a different way. I had to do something, and, to make matters worse, the oil field started to crash, and oil prices were dropping significantly, and people were getting laid off, and I didn't really have that security anymore. So I just made a decision right then and there. I had to make a change, and I woke up in the morning. I started doing everything I could. I made it my mission to implement everything I learned from my mentors, and I started learning, and I started going over all of the training that was provided for me, and just really getting to know everything. And it was about 2 months after, not even, that I had my first month that I replaced my oil field income, and I left the oil field for good a month after that. That was December 20th of 2016, and I haven't looked back since. And yeah, it's been quite the ride, a lot of ups and downs, but finally we're getting to do what we always wanted to do, living in BC, making money online, and spending time together, and traveling, and all that good stuff. And I definitely, it was a blessing in disguise when the oil field crashed, because if it didn't, I probably would still be there. So your stories may or may not be similar to ours, but I'm guessing your goals are pretty close, because you wouldn't be here if they weren't. Your expertise level is probably about the same as ours when we started too, which is absolutely zero. So basically how this traditionally works with bigger affiliate programs that, GoPro, Amazon, even Walmart have, what happens traditionally is you get involved, and then you're fully responsible for trying to figure out how to market their products, how to leverage, social media advertising like Facebook advertising, how to do all the stuff like build sales funnels, do the email marketing, all this stuff that people usually fail with, because, it's pretty complicated, it's overwhelming, it's a lot to learn. That's why the fail rate is so high here. So that's why with us, we do all the stuff on the back end for you. And honestly, we basically hold your hand through the entire process and take out all the guesswork.
So not only has this worked for the two of us, but it's also worked for hundreds of others as well. And some people that we know very closely now, Kai and Sydney made over $10,000 in a month. Shauna Clark, she made over $11,000 in a day, and she's a full-time stay-at-home mom. And Pete and Bree, who've made over $34,000 in 1 month while traveling South America. So if you scroll down, you'll see some other testimonials from people from the community as well. So are you excited yet, or are you still feeling pretty confused?
Yeah, it's totally cool if you guys are still a little bit confused and unclear on what it is we do exactly. I know it took us a while to wrap our heads around things when we got started, so we'd be here for another hour trying to explain exactly how we're going to help you guys make money online. But instead, what we've done is we've put together a live masterclass that's going to go over all the tools and strategies that we use. It's also going to show you things like how to leverage social media advertising to scale your business to 6 or even 7 figures a year. So when you're ready to make that change, just reach out to the person that gave you the link to this page, and they'll fire you off a registration link so you can save your spot for that masterclass. And if you're still on the fence, what better way to find out and get some information than to watch the masterclass, make an informed decision from there. And yeah, that's all you got to do. Take it from there. It's totally free, and see if this is something for you or if it's not.
I promise you guys, if you attend the live masterclass with us, it'll be the most beneficial hour you've ever spent online. I hope you enjoyed hearing our stories and getting to know us a little bit. We look forward to chatting to you in the future and seeing you on the webinar. Just remember, guys, you're only one choice away from potentially changing your life.